Yang berbahagia, Professor Dato Dr. Norazah Mohd Nordin, and to our respectable panelists, Mr. Hakan Jazuli from University of UIN Araniri, Banda Aceh, Indonesia, Ms. Qussynur Yakin, Ainal Yakin from University Kebangsaan Malaysia, Mr. Awang Mohammad Shamsul Bazli Bashreen from University Brunei Darussalam, Brunei, and lastly, Ms. Marium Kureishy from University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, Illinois, USA. It is such a great pleasure to have all of the speakers with us today in this engaging webinar who will be sharing and deliver their knowledge and prospect in our today's topic, which is International Webinar COVID-19 Crisis, Hear the Students. Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, on behalf of the organizer team, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to everyone. We appreciate your time and your kindness to join this webinar. I believe we will learn a lot from today's session and hopefully something fresh to our perspective. Before I proceed, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Syazwin Fahrughazi, who will be moderating for today's webinar. Thank you very much for joining us to the international webinar, COVID-19 Crisis, Hear the Students. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start today's webinar, it will be a great pleasure for us to sing the UKM anthem, Varsity Kita. Without further ado, I would like to call upon Muhammad Amir Haziq to recite the dua.
Al-Fatiha. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Yakin. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين اللهم إنك خلاق العظيم إنك سميع عليم إنك غفور رحيم إنك رب العرش العظيم إنك البر الجواد الكريم الله يا كريم يا رحيم يا فعال لما يريد اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من البرص والجنون والجزام ومن سيء الأسقام ربنا عليك توكلنا وإليك أنبنا وإليك المصير ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم الحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you, Mama Amir Hazik, for the reciting the dua. To begin this program, we are pleased to have Yang Berbahagia Professor Dato Dr. Norazah Mohd Nordin, Dean of Faculty of Education, University Kebangsaan Malaysia, to deliver the opening ceremony of International Webinar COVID-19 Crisis Hear the Students. Please welcome Yang Berbahagia Professor Dato Dr. Norazah Mohd Nordin.
Thank you, Syazwina. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, I would like to thank Allah for His grace, which has enabled us to gather and attend this morning's program, the International Webinar COVID-19 Crisis. Hear the students. Dear students, yes, we are listening to you. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome all panelists and participants to this impactful webinar from many countries, namely, we are from Malaysia, from Indonesia, Brunei, and the United States. The theme for the program is Digital Learning Amidst COVID-19. This theme was chosen to show the students that they can learn effectively through online platforms during the pandemic, despite the challenges and obstacles they face. Essentially, they will be able to adapt to any situation under any circumstances, and they'll be ready to join the job market. We are very fortunate today to have our brilliant panelists from abroad and from local and from abroad to speak on this subject. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome Mr. Hakan Jazuli from University of UIN, Arairi, Banda Aceh, Indonesia, Miss Qussynur Yakin, Ainal Yakin from our University Kebangsaan Malaysia, and Mr. Awang Mohammad Bashreen from University Brunei Salam, and also Miss Marium Kureishy from the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, Illinois, United States of America. Welcome to Malaysia virtually. We are very close at heart. The presence of COVID-19 will have the direct long-term impact on education as we must be able to adapt to working and studying online for various reasons and situations, and online education is widely debated. This webinar is also a very good platform to discuss, and I'm very delighted and I'm very proud with our student association, PENDIDIK, to organize such a very effective webinar to discuss how students could adapt to online learning during this pandemic, how to study effectively, and how I'm sure that the forum today will discuss about the best practices from many countries, so the students can learn from each other's experience, and at the same time having a very effective network. We can have exchange students or mobility program, although we are not allowed to be physically in those countries. However, we can work out something virtual for us to do the mobility program virtually, and also to have more effective collaborations of academic program internationally. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the program's organizer, the Faculty of Education Student Association PENDIDIK, for their hard work and a very big commitment in organizing this program, this international webinar. I know that everyone has put in a lot of energy, a lot of effort to make sure that today's webinar runs smoothly and achieve its objective, and also that many will benefit from this program. I would also like to take this opportunity to congratulate Dr. Shawal Amran, the advisor for the program, who is also the coordinator for the student affair, and also to Dr. Nur Faradila Muhammad Nasir, the assistant dean for the student affair, for organizing and collaborating and nurturing the student to organize such webinar. Okay, so I wish everyone all the best. Enjoy the webinar. Finally, with the lafaz Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I hereby officiate the International Webinar COVID-19 Crisis. Here, students. Thank you. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good day. Enjoy the seminar. Enjoy the webinar.
Thank you to our Dean of Faculty of Education, Yang Berbahagia Professor Dato Dr. Norazah Mohd Nordin for the opening ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce Yang Berbahagia Professor Dato Dr. Norazah Mohd Nordin is a Professor of Learning Technologies and Innovation and currently the Dean of Faculty of Education, University Kebangsaan Malaysia. Her research areas include massive online open courses, mobile learning, ICT in lifelong learning, and instructional design in digital learning. The projects that leads include the development of higher education active learning spaces, HEALS, a collaborative research project with the Australian Innovative University Network. The most current project that Professor Dato Dr. Norazah Mohd Nordin leads are Learning Design in the Fourth Industrial Revolution and the 4IR Cross-Creative Learning Innovation for Autism. She is the University Council of Member of Asia-Europe Meeting, ASEM Lifelong Learning Hub, and an active member of ASEM Research Network 1, Development of ICT Skills and Culture of E-Learning in Lifelong Learning. Professor Dato Dr. Norazah Mohd Nordin is also the editorial board member of the Internet and Higher Education Journal, the third best Quartile 1 Web of Science journal. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start, please watch this video prepared by the organizer team.
Hi, my name is YBhg and I'm a 22-year-old student at University Kebangsaan Malaysia in teaching English as second language, or widely known as TESOL. To be honest, at first during the beginning of the online learning, I was pretty excited to continue my studies even in such a crisis, especially in a way that I have never experienced before. Also, I thought that I would have a blast throughout the whole online learning, but as time goes on and the COVID cases were unstable and unpredictable, where it caused the online learning to be extended into the next semester, I started to feel demotivated and uninterested in continuing it even further. Rather than skipping the class because of my uninterestedness in online learning, I just forced myself to keep going on. Sometimes when I was too bored during class, I will just play arcade games or board games like checkers while listening to lectures to make sure I'm not feeling sleepy. And as someone who was quite active in extracurriculum and loves to join program back in UKM, I really don't want to let the time passes like waterfall doing nothing. So I joined many online programs that were conducted by my college and my faculty because I really don't want to waste my university moment just like that during this whole pandemonium. During online learning, I face many problems, but the one that immensely affects me during the online learning was the lack of technology or tools for online learning. During the first semester of online learning, I was not prepared at all and had to make use of what I had back then, like I have no camera or good microphone or something. And it made my online learning experience kind of suck. So, how do I tackle this problem? Well, luckily I got a scholarship, and rather than spending the scholarship money on lifestyle stuff or just save it, I spent thousands on upgrading my computer and buying peripherals like a new webcam, new microphone, and editing software to make sure my online learning experience are top notch. Even though I said I had fun during online learning, it still feels odd, and I believe I enjoyed conventional learning or face-to-face learning even more than online learning because of its exquisite atmosphere in UKM and the unique interaction with real people. If everything turns out alright, I hope we all could go back to UKM and no longer continue this online learning because I believe privileged students have more advantage than unprivileged students who strive to continue their studies during this hard time. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, to begin the first session, our beloved Dean of Faculty of Education, Yang Berbahagia, Professor Dato Dr. Norazah Mohd Nordin, would like to share her insight on 4IR cross-culture learning.
Thank you, Syazwin. Wow, it's nice to hear the voice of my student. I know what's in their heart, but don't worry, we are working very hard to make sure that teaching and learning are really back into the position that it should be. However, of course, the whole world is facing the problem, and we'll try our best to make full use of the equipment, or to make full use of the situation, and to make sure that our students can optimize the teaching and learning experience. So the topic which is given to me, and I also enjoy talking about it, and I add some, the fourth industrial revolution flavor there, digital learning future plan in the fourth industrial revolution. So I would like to begin my presentation with the sharing of what is the United Nations is striving for, which is the Sustainable Development Goal. The whole world is struggling to achieve the 17, we call it SDG, Sustainable Development Goal, which by the year 2030, the whole world is hoped to achieve the excellence in all the 17 goals. They call it Sustainable Development Goal. So there are so many goals: no poverty, no hunger, good health. And what really matters for educationists or for students like us today is the quality education. So for the university, giving the quality educations to the student is our priority. So we are struggling together with the whole world, together with the United Nations, to give the best to our students. Okay, early 2020, we're having this COVID-19 pandemic, which everybody knows really give impact to education as a whole, impact to the teaching and learning. We can see that, the classroom is empty, all the students were sent back to their hometown, and actually the lecturers are so lonely without you students. Okay, so these are all unprecedented disruption to school, to universities, and to the learners too. And according to UNESCO, almost 300 million kids missing school because of the coronavirus. And also the world, the changing, the world changing trends, where we also facing the digital native, like everybody here in this webinar, you are all the millennials who are powerful generation in the making. You all are being born during the time of the digital revolution. You are growing up with perks such as the broadband, smartphone, and social network, which compared to me growing up in the 60s and 70s, we didn't have all these things. However, here I am also with the digital world, struggling, doing our best to make sure that we give quality education to our students. And also the challenging world is facing the issues of urbanization, where it is projected that by the year 2030, 2/3 of the world's population will reside in the cities. So all the villages will be quite empty, very quiet, and the number of megacities will be more than 10 million people expected to grow to over 40. And also the hyperconnectivity. People, whenever you are, you always ask. You don't ask the facilities, the physical facilities, but you always ask about, okay, how's the internet? Is there any Wi-Fi here? So that is the hyperconnectivity issue that we are facing. And also the rise of machines, where future productivity, robots become cheaper, faster, and efficient. And we see here in the modern houses, modern living, robots are cleaning the house. And also we use a lot of machines to take care of our work. And also we before this, maybe about 5 to 10 years ago, we are talking about green technology. Everything is green. But now we are talking about smartphone, smart TV, smart university, smart campus. Everything must be smart. So these are some of the challenges that we are facing. And also, we are talking about the fourth industrial revolution. When I started doing research in this fourth industrial revolution issues, specifically in education, I was also wondering why the fourth. Nobody talked about the first, the second, and the third. Okay, let me show you the video how the revolution started. Okay, so that is how it started, how the revolution started. And it started, the first started with the steam engineering way back between 1760 to 1840. I was not born yet. Our great grandfather, grandmother, maybe they were alive, during their time, where we don't have electricity, everything using steam and all that. And after that, we have revolution, the second industrial revolution between 1830 and 1915. I still remember my late grandmother was born in 1916. So so this actually just past the second industrial revolution, where we started with electricity, they have started invented motor car and all that. And after that, the third industrial revolution, 1969 to 2010, and about the internet, nuclear energy, and all that. And now we have started in the fourth industrial revolution, when we talk about all the digitalization. And of course, when we talk about digitalization here, about education, digitalization of education, and also digitalization of product and services, business, and all that. We talk about mobile devices. Actually, what you are holding now, we are in the fourth industrial revolution. We have the wearable, where you wear your smartwatch. When you wear it, it can read your heartbeat and all that. Counting the calories and all that. Those is actually part of the technology for the fourth industrial revolution. And we talk about Internet of Things, we talk about nanotechnology, we talk about 3D printing, smart sensors, big data, and so on. We talk about augmented reality, cloud computing. So those are all the technology that everybody here, like you, our young generation, you have to deal with it, with how we integrate in education to be relevant to the industry. Okay, so when we talk about the fourth industrial revolution, I would like to relate with the framework of education 4.0. Although this is for educators, however, I would like to share with you the skills that is needed. There are at least four main skills that everybody here must really venture into this, really master in this skill. You need to have global citizenship skill, which include the awareness about the wider world, sustainability, and active role in the global community. And I'm so proud that today's effort, today's webinar is really inculcating this skill, global citizenship. We have our international students here to be with us, with the global community. So this is actually how the university is inculcating this skill to the student. So well done. I would like to congratulate this webinar, really very suitable in inculcating this skill for global citizenship. Innovation and creativity skills, technology skills, and interpersonal skills. So these are all the, at least the four skills that you, the young generation, Gen Z, have to really master in. And what we are doing in the faculty, and I'm sure is also being implemented in other universities in other parts of the world, like Indonesia, the United States, Brunei, Darussalam, and all that. We are the educators. They are practicing the personalized and self-paced learning, and how to educate the students using the inclusive learning and problem-based collaborative learning, and also the lifelong learning. So this is actually the framework for education 4.0 that suits the fourth industrial revolution. I would like to share this data from the Future of Jobs Report 2020 by the World Economic Forum, that the type of skills, the problem-solving skills, self-management skill, working with people, technology use and development skill. There are at least four skill types that the students have to master in, and the online learning is part of the skills that you have to master. Actually, I look at the pandemic as an innovation from the lecturers and from the students. Actually, you are practicing the technology usage, technology development in yourself. If prior to the pandemic, everything is, I think about 70%, you are dealing with face-to-face with the lecturers, face-to-face teaching and learning process. But now, during the pandemic, you have no choice that you have to master in technology. I'm so glad that the students just now really invest on the technology, buying the gadget, upgrading the computer, doing their best so that he enjoys teaching and learning. Actually, that is one of the ways forward to be excellent in the fourth industrial revolution. So it's just that you have to get used to it. And also, according to the data, the COVID-19 is pushing companies to scale remote work by 83%. So only 13% is in the workplace, 83% is at their house, or they are working remotely. So being online is actually a very good training for you here, for everybody here, to be ready for the working experience in the new era. To accelerate, and also the COVID-19 is pushing the companies to accelerate digitalization. So technology is here. You really have to master in it. Accelerate automation by 50%. Imagine that. And also, rate of automation by the year 2025, 53% only using human, 47% all using machine. So this is actually an indication that you really have to reskilling, retooling yourself so that you are relevant to the workplace today. And also, I would like to share the latest data. This data is 2020 from the World Economic Forum, and growing job demand about the data analysis scientists, artificial intelligence, big data, and so on, and decreasing job demand. So you can serve more after my presentation, so that although you are learning English, you are learning special education, doing mass communication, you have to fit in this with technology, because in order to have data about language, data about English, about teachers and all that, they need you to give it. So however, you need to know the technology. So this is how you can be relevant in this fourth industrial revolution. And also, according to the World Economic Forum, reskilling needs is 50%. So 50% of all employees will need to reskill by the year 2025. Let's say you are graduating this year and with lesser skill in technology. So you have to reskill yourself. Take the online classes, study take any professional courses so that you are well equipped with all the skills needed by the companies out there. And reskilling needs by 40% of current workers. They are expected to change in the next 5 years. So we are not discussing about what's happening now. We are preparing for the next 5 to 10 years. So this is what's happening, and the problem that we are facing, the challenges. Are we all future ready? We do. Everybody, is everybody have the future ready mindset? Are we ready for this? Are all the educator 4.0 ready? Is the institution ready? Are we ready for the fourth industrial revolution? How about the skills? How about the transdisciplinary knowledge? How about the learning spaces that we are having now? And are we having the expert mobility, sufficient international exposure? So these are all the challenges that the university management and also the students, both parties, both entities, we are working towards excellence for this, to solve this problem. So, reimagining education, we have with the fourth industrial revolution, with the challenges during the pandemic and post-pandemic, we have to rethink about education, reimagining it. Focus on recovering post-pandemic. Are we recovering the existing system? But I think we also have the opportunity to build back a better situation and opportunity to reimagine our education system going forward. And so that everybody here, all our students, everybody here, students, you are relevant. We are developing, we are producing the relevant graduates. However, you yourself have to know how to be relevant, doing the reskilling, retooling, and also the students, the university management, we have to prepare the students for life, not just for examination. And also for them, where and how learning takes place. If prior to the pandemic, everything is happening in the campus, we are doing it in the lecture hall, in the classroom, on the field, in the lecture theater, and so on. But now we have to think where and how learning takes place. Virtually is one of the, the space that we are facing, and who is fundamentally involved in education, and how the technology can improve learning both inside and outside the classroom. So if you feel that you are still not comfortable with the online learning, please make it happen. Try to make yourself comfortable by keep on trying, interacting with the students who love the online learning. Come to the lecturers virtually if you want to solve, if you face any problem. And all the universities, I am very confident are practicing the digital technology and blended learning. When we talk about the future is really unpredictable. However, the future can be found in the past. From what our experiences, we can do the projection, and actually we can invent our own future. And there are actually from the educationist point of view, there are 4 concepts that are shaping the futuristic learning. which is andragogy, heutagogy, pedagogy, and cybergogy. And andragogy is about the teaching method that we use to teach the adult learners. Why? Because the adult learners, they have to do the reskilling, retooling, and so on. And from the educationist point of view, they need to know the method dealing with the adult learners. Heutagogy is how the students manage the teaching and learning process. Pedagogy, because the young generation, they love to be connected, they love to learn collaboratively, they love to be connected, and they love study in group. And cybergogy, where we use a lot of online material. So the future of learning and teaching, they have a big changes ahead for education actually. So this is, I adopt this from Microsoft. There are at least 6 global competencies that you have to master in. Critical thinking, you need to be very creative in order to be relevant in this new world, in the 4th industrial revolution. You need to have good communication skill, know how to sell your ideas, master in pitching, and do a lot of collaboration, global citizenship, and also character building. And personalized learning network is also the way forward for the students. And now what the universities are doing is, instead of learning to memorize facts, the student needs to learn how to learn, how to solve problems. Learn how to learn means you need to learn how to master each subject. And this involves educational innovation. And that is why when you read, when you explore from the internet, we do a lot of, we are developing the flexible education. What is it? So now school and universities need to expand and revise the curriculum in such a way that we have to educate ourselves for the digital future that is inclusive. Everybody deserves the education for sustainability, and we work collaboratively. And how? Just to share with you, you are students, but I would also like to share with you students what is the planning of the many institutions. Yesterday, I just have had meeting with the Asia Europe meeting for lifelong learning hub. Educators from Asia and Europe, from Thailand, from India, from Indonesia, from the Philippines, from Spain, from Finland, and also from Czechoslovakia. We are talking about redesigning curriculum for lifelong learning. We talk about micro-credential, about the micro-degree courses, about the micro-master program. What is micro-credential? We are looking forward for more flexible learning, where the students, they don't come to universities for 4 years. Maybe after this, if you want to further your studies for master's degree or PhD while working, you can take credit by credit. Maybe this month you take 1 credit. So maybe a few more months, you take 1 more credit, and after that 1 more. It depends on your own time, flexible learning, personalized learning environment, and after that you can accumulate all the credits to be converted into master's degree, bachelor or master's degree. So that's what is the future of the curriculum, yeah, redesigning curriculum. And this is really a technological future, and we talk about MOOC, about the massive online open courses. If you want to know more about MOOC, you can search for in the internet about the very famous MOOC provider, Coursera, open learning, and so on. There are very good massive online courses because it is so flexible. You can take it anytime, and it is flexible hours. When you register for MOOC, you meet the students from all over the world. And if you want me to talk about MOOC, it will take hours. I love to talk about it. But here I'm just going to introduce you about the MOOC. And if you're interested, please explore. And if you want to know further information about MOOC, just contact me directly. And if I have time, I would also like to share China's experience in dealing with COVID-19. We know that Wuhan is the place where it started, and why China recover this very fast. One of the ways they do it is how they support the online learning by developing at least 3 websites. The websites are called Keep Teaching for the lecturers, so that, you know, because it is so sudden, so unprecedented, that the lecturer has to turn everything into online. So they open this website for the lecturers to interact, to collaborate, and also keep learning. Special website for the students, and keep working the website for the staff, for the support staff. So this is how China is dealing with it. So collaborating the unprecedented incident. So that's how they are doing it. And also in Italy, refocusing attention on e-learning and strategic importance of quality open access multimedia learning for public higher education sector. So dear students, listen to me. Online learning is one of the ways forward. One of the ways, it's not the way forward. Okay, so deal with it, learn more, keep on learning. Please, if you don't like it, you have to do something to win your heart, because online learning is very important. The whole world is dealing with it, is innovating on the online learning. And also, this is where, okay, the University of Naples, Federico, using the MOOC, they are taking picking up the MOOCs that they have developed before, redesign it, and offer it to the students. So this is also open online learning. So really, technology is really transforming the education with the devices and so on. With the, you know, we are going into biometrics and gamification and futuristic technology to support the learning. And also, of course, this is also the challenge, one of the, you know, part of the challenges faced by all universities. We have to, all the lecturers, we have to master in it. And we know that specifically Faculty of Education, University of Malaysia, we have this Educator 4.0 group, you know, to support this system, the augmented reality, drone, 3D printing, and so on. And of course, we are using blended learning, you know, connectedness, collaboration, and co-creation are all aspects which are very important to practice the teaching and learning anywhere, anytime. And as I mentioned just now about the heutagogy, that is beyond pedagogy, where we are preparing for the student for their future to be lifelong learners. Where when we talk about heutagogy, we are talking about how students decide how to learn. We decide the objective, the aim, but the process will be decided by the student. We ask the student how they want to learn. So this is one of the pedagogy ahead, and we have to rethinking about education, rethinking about learning, a teaching culture. We have to convert a teaching culture to a learning culture. One-way communication, the students only learn when the lecturer is in front of them into the learning culture. The students have to learn how to learn, and teaching and learning go beyond classroom walls, and also people-driven learning, student-driven learning. Actually, you play a big role because doing it online, and at the same time, of course, one of the challenges, social and emotional well-being also have to be taken into consideration, because if everything is online, of course, the students said just now, they still love to be in campus with the friends and so on. Yeah, we do it hybrid. We pray that, you know, the pandemic will be over soon and we can interact, we can do it hybrid, do it blended. So maybe 30%, 70% online, 30% we do face-to-face, and so on. So education actually does, does more to respond to the changing world, and the impact of the fourth industrial revolution really shifting the educational evidences. So it require curricular changes to enable learners and educators to be ready for the revolution. And also we have to be dealing with the learning, the space, which is the virtual space, and the technology. And we ask ourselves, are we ready for the paradigm shift? And let's shift the gear towards the futuristic education. With that, thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor.